protect yourself and your family from unexpected challenges. Consider accident-only income protection. Click the link in the description to find out more.
You want anything bad enough? Don't make excuses. You gotta lose your time and your sleep for it. You find a way.
Boxing King Media in association with SaveMoreMoney.com and the Riyadh season. We are in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, a beautiful location, and it's an absolute honour and pleasure to be joined by Adam Smith. And I think I speak for many thousands of boxing fans in the UK that grew up watching you, and it's great to see you back, Adam.
Thanks very much. It's really nice to be back. It's lovely to be alive, really, after what I've been through this year. It's been a brutal year, but I've recovered from horrendous cancer, and I feel good. I feel strong. I feel mentally strong, which I think is really important too. I've been through some really tough times, and I've missed it. I've missed boxing. I've missed sport. I've concentrated on my family, my wife Jo, my kids Jessme, Oscar and Tilly, and just being back around them. Very grateful, very humble, really appreciative of the incredible doctors that saved me, and I feel a lot calmer, I feel a lot happier, and as I said, I've missed it. I've missed the sport. Of course, boxing is in us. It's been in me since I was a kid. I'm a massive sports fan, as you know, all sports. I miss being at the football, I miss the darts, the commentary there, I miss so much. I love sport, and I've always loved watching sport, and I've always admired the athletes more than anything, and fighters are just probably my favourite people outside of my family. I love fighters, and I always have, going back to the early Sky days of working with Chris Eubank Sr. and Nigel Benn and Steve Collins, and obviously the likes of Prince Nassim Hamid and Joe Calzaghe and Ricky, and then in America with Roy Jones and Oscar De La Hoya and Miguel Cotto and Sugar Shane Mosley and so many, Diego Corrales.
I think you kind of just summing up the experience you've got in the game. It's crazy. You're really in all these names, so it kind of shows how much involvement you've had in boxing and with your association with the fans. And as you're just saying there, like your absence kind of hit everyone, because you just literally just disappeared. And obviously everyone was concerned, worried about you, and thinking all sorts of stuff. And obviously, like you just said there, you've been through a horrendous health battle. Obviously you just showed me some of the stuff that you've been through.
Mentally as well. Mentally, I had a lot of issues, and I had to deal with that. And I came through, and I'm in a great place. As I said, really strong. And physically, I didn't think I'd get through the cancer. I know you yourself have been through some really tough times in this year, and I think that there's a lot of fight in us, isn't there, as human beings? I could never get in a ring. I'm not brave enough, but I think maybe that's why I admire fighters of all levels. Getting in the ring, I think it's incredible, and I've loved watching them over the years and loved working with them. But I think when you've got your own battle, you have to dig very, very deep, and think of my family and my wife and kids, and that's what's really important. And I think many years of incredible experiences at Sky and a fantastic journey. I've absolutely loved it. But you're away a lot, you're traveling a lot, you are, we're all in, aren't we, in the boxing world, addicted to it, really. And it was a 24/7, certainly in my head, and I think that now I've been through this, there's a new perspective on life. I've left Sky, and I think it's the right time. I think it's a chance for me to have a blank canvas to think about what I want to do. I'd really like to start something with sportsmen and women, mentoring, looking after, helping them grow, helping them make that incredibly difficult transition.
Are these like future plans that? I'll tell you, I'm going to ask you about your future plans.
Okay.
The fans will murder me if I don't ask you.
Okay, sure.
Why leave Sky? Was it a hard decision? And because it's been a big part of your life.
29 years.
Yeah.
29 years in one place.
A half a lifetime.
My dad worked at Marks and Spencer for I think 27, 28 years, and he made that difficult decision. I think I've loved Sky. You know, cut me open and I bleed Sky. I've just had so many incredible opportunities, so many adventures, so many wonderful people who work there. I miss them. I've missed them when I've been ill and I've been away. Some fantastic talent and people that are so dedicated and brilliant, and yeah, I love it. It's grown obviously under Comcast. It's got bigger. It's a different place to when I first walked in. Of course, it's built into a huge empire, and it's fantastic. And Sky Sports is the best. I mean, the not just the rights, but the production, everything that goes into so much. It's just been an absolute pleasure to be involved in. But I think I've been through a lot, right, mentally and physically, and I've recalibrated, and I've rethought about what really matters. Not only have I battled mental and physical health issues, I've really wanted to give back. I've been working with the Acton Homeless near where I live, and at the food bank, and I didn't know about really anything about these things, or I certainly haven't researched it, but I'm really enjoying sort of giving back, and yeah, of course I've got to go and earn money again for my family. I need to do that, but I'm enjoying that side of life. So why leave Sky? It's the right time for a new challenge, for a new horizon. There's so much I really would like to do. I want to maybe write more, but that idea of mentoring, helping sportsmen and women is really important to me. I mentored Savannah Marshall for many years, from when she was broken after the Olympics and until she turned professional, and look how she's done. I'm so proud of her. Daniel Altmaier as well, the tennis player who had his injury issues, and he's now bounced back and he's top 50 in the world, and I get great pleasure watching athletes who grow and who learn how to come back from adversity and difficulties, and I've got to come back from my own adversity and difficulty now, and I'd like to do that by giving back. And I'm working on a business with some very smart people, and we want to really look at mentoring, at helping, at growing sportsmen and women, and getting the best out of them, because it's such a difficult life.
How can they reach you, the people that you work with? Because it sounds quite an interesting idea, because obviously the experience you've got in the game, in the industry, at Sky, so at all sorts of levels, you could offer a lot. So if people want to reach out to you to kind of network with you in this sort of idea, what's the best way to get hold of Adam Smith? Or have you got some PR agency handling that?
Listen, I'm just floating around at the moment, right?
Okay.
I'm here in Saudi Arabia. I've been invited over. It's really nice, and I'm just sort of reconnecting with people. I've been at home, and I've been in hospitals, 4 hospitals, over this year. It's been really, really tough, and I've been home with my family, and they've been brilliant. And my wife and I went to Dublin, and we went to the Katie Taylor fight. Katie's a friend of ours, and so dipping my toes just gently back into it, and I'm open to suggestions about what that blank canvas may look like, what that tapestry may look like. I miss commentating.
If somebody came along and said, right, Adam, we need you, as an example, like Joshua Wallin, Wilder, Parker, we want that historic, legendary voice back on screens, would you do it?
If they gave me a mic and the guy started fighting, I'd be hard not
autopilot.
to. It'd be hard not to, of course.
So you're available for that kind of stuff?
Absolutely. I love commentating. I'm my own business now, and as I said, I'm working on something which I think is really exciting, which is going to take a little time, but I really want to give back. And I've looked at sportsmen and women obviously a great deal over the years, and not just in boxing, but in tennis, in football, and in darts, in other areas, in cricket. And there's a really difficult moment when they retire. That retirement can be really cruel, like it was with Spencer Oliver. It can be very young when injury comes in, or it can be 30, 35, maybe 40 if you're lucky, if you're a heavyweight. But it's going to come. It's going to come, and those fighters have given, or those tennis players have given so much for so long, and they've been so sort of dedicated to one thing. It's like, what are they going to do next? There's a whole life ahead of them, and I think many of them struggle with that transition. So I want to help maybe get to them earlier and give them some support and give them some other avenues, and work with my fantastic team that I'm building, and hopefully we can really help get the best out of sportsmen and women, and make sure that they just have not only a great career but a fantastic life, to be really well supported and help them in so many ways, whether it's mental health or whether it's learning about different businesses or thinking about what they might want to do or giving back to charities, all that sort of stuff, and just things outside of the day-to-day relentless training and focus that you have to be a phenomenal athlete. And so that's an area that really interests me. Obviously I'd love to get back behind a mic, and I had many years as head of boxing at Sky, and I'd love to help consult, strategize different things. I'm looking around, I'm talking to different people. I'm obviously very close to Eddie and Matchroom, and I don't know where the future lies. I've just got to
in short, we're definitely going to see Adam Smith back. In short, we're going to see Adam Smith back in some capacity in boxing, potentially behind the mic, involved in boxing, grassroots level, all sorts of levels, which is obviously great.
Are you asking me or asking my wife?
Because
we might have slightly different.
All right, okay.
I think no.
It sounds like we're going to see at some capacity.
I think I've got to be gentle to myself. I'm 90% probably back. I'm cancer free, and I feel really strong and really calm. But my body's gone through a huge change, and as I said, I've been very present for my kids lately, and I need that family time back over Christmas and into the new year. And I think that my doctors have said that I had my operation in March. I got ill January, February. My doctor said it's a year. So that we're coming up. I think 2024 is going to be, rebuilding and a comeback. And is that going to be in the heart of boxing? I don't know, and I don't know whether my body or my family, my health. I don't know whether I could sustain that sort of travel. I know what you guys do. You told me what you were doing in the last few weeks. I watch Eddie week in, week out, crossing the pond, and Frank and Kala Nissa I'm really close to as well, and I love all these guys. These Shelley Finkel. I came last night. It's been brilliant. I was invited over here. It's been fantastic by Tyson Fury's team, by AJ's team. It's great, and I walked into to Turkey's house last night. It was just amazing. I came off the plane. I walked in, and there was Deontay and Shelley Finkel, and it was just really emotional for me. I've known them for a long time. I've known Shelley since the Tyson days, and Deontay's been particularly close over the years. Tyson's been really supportive with messages. So has AJ. The heavyweights really have really supported, and they've given back. And I saw Andy Ruiz and Andy Lee, and then there was Frank Smith talking to George Warren, which was really nice. And there was Frank Warren. There was Eddie and Freddie Cunningham and KD, and then there's Joe Parker, who I adore, and
something out of fantasy, all the fighters
together.
Do you know
what? It was,
and behaving as well.
I went to the press conference because I just couldn't believe the moment was going to come when Frank and Eddie would be together, and why not? And congratulations to George and Spencer and Turkey and everyone that have made this happen. And it's fantastic, and it's wonderful being in Saudi. I'm back here. I've been a few times, and it's great. We're treated so nicely. The people are wonderful and warm, and it seems like this is the place where they really want to throw everything at boxing. And it's fantastic to see so many fighters here, because ultimately it is about the fighters, and they've turned up. They're going to fight each other. We're hopefully going to get, if they both win, AJ and Wilder. We know that Fury and Usyk is happening. The big fights, the big events are what boxing needs and what the casual fans need 100%. To get involved in. I mean, and it seems that it's if it's moved to Saudi, then it's great to be here, and it's an honour, and I'm really looking forward to the weekend. But I just go back to that moment when I just saw all the fighters. It was really emotional for me, because it was like going back to see old friends who I haven't been around for a year, and that just made me really happy, and made me really excited, and made me really sad as well about sort of what's happened. But ultimately, every day is precious for me. I'm alive. I take one day at a time, and yesterday was a really good day, and I'm really looking forward to today with the weigh-in, and then there's the fight, and then I go home for Christmas. So it's one day at a time. And
what an event to be a part of. I'm going to just rewind a little bit back. There's so much happened, but there's two main things I want to speak to you about, Adam, and get your professional opinion on them. We saw Tyson Fury versus Ngannou a few months ago. It was an epic event here in Riyadh, and to kickstart Riyadh season. Obviously, we saw what happened in the fight. Tyson got the win, but there was a lot of opinion after the fight. And I just want to get your opinions from your expertise. That people were saying, some were saying his legs are gone. Your friend Johnny Nelson was saying, he looked shot, etc. His legs are gone based on the fact that he said he had a proper training camp. Obviously, some people are saying that he looked overweight, but he got the win. I just want to get your opinion on, from what you saw, was that an off night, or are you accepting the opinion of what some people are saying? Maybe it's time. What did you make of it all?
I thought it was an off night for Tyson Fury. It was a bad night for him, and a great night for Ngannou. I mean, why did that happen? It was extraordinary watching it at home. I was watching it with my eldest daughter, and she said to me, "Who is this guy? This Ngannou, this sculpted from marble, and this." And I was like, "Well, he's from another world, and well, he can't possibly beat Tyson Fury because Tyson Fury is the best in the boxing world." So, yeah, it took me back to Mayweather and McGregor. I thought it was just, I was going to enjoy it as an event. So what did I take of it? That Ngannou was a lot better than we thought he would be, and maybe has announced himself as a potential player in the heavyweight division. Why not? He was really good. It was probably his best night and Tyson's worst night since John McDermott. I mean, Tyson can blow hot and cold. That's what people sometimes forget. I think at his very best, Tyson Fury is just incredible. He's an unbelievable natural boxer, and I love watching that. But I think he can have bad nights, and I think he admits it himself. John McDermott was a bad night back in the day, and yeah, look, he had the difficult fight with Otto. There's times where sometimes Tyson doesn't. Maybe he overlooks his opponent slightly. Maybe he didn't think Ngannou posed. He said it all. Ngannou's the big puncher, but I think it's like, wasn't there a thing that Djokovic would play the best in the badminton world, or it's something like that, isn't it? A best tennis player playing the best table tennis player. How does it work? Well, I think if you look at it as an event, it was an amazing event, and then we all thought Tyson would just easily deal with Ngannou. I thought probably it would go the distance or a late stoppage, and it would be Tyson all night. But it was a really good fight to watch, wasn't it? It was compelling. Didn't know who's going to win. So from a
did the right man win?
A neutral's point of view, I think Tyson got the decision. He nicked it. I think one or two of the rounds were very difficult to score. I was just watching it as an event. I wasn't commentating. I wasn't watching it as a pundit. I was watching it as a fight fan at home, just enjoying it really.
A lot of people described it as like Tyson kind of, because of his experience in boxing, he knew it was going to be a difficult fight. So he kind of, like you said, nicked the rounds. He just did enough.
I just think he looked really interested in there. I think that interesting what Johnny says about his legs. Legs are key to every fighter, and obviously that will be tested against Alexander Usyk to the max.
But Dom Ingle tells me legs on heavyweights don't go because they're not making weight, and so he said.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, legs are so crucial in boxing. I think Tyson is. I was surprised when he was backed off into the ropes, into corners. He just didn't look himself. I think. I don't know, because I wasn't around him around fight week. Maybe things weren't great in training, or something wasn't quite right. I don't know. It just looked like he took Ngannou for what he was, coming from another sphere, and he had to be careful of the punch power. But it looked like he just treated it like a glorified spar, and I think that he was really poor, and he knows that, and that's why he's going to be training incredibly hard for Alexander Usyk, and I still expect him to be the favourite going in, and probably to get the result. I mean, it opens up a few more questions now, of course, and then people question Usyk still as a heavyweight, even though he's beaten AJ a couple of times. It's crazy, isn't it?
And AJ's a unit.
They're both, listen, Usyk and Fury are both phenomenal fighters, both phenomenal talents, and they're there and undefeated for a reason, and they're going to meet in a clash that everybody wants to see. Tyson just about got away with it, didn't he, against Ngannou? Let's be honest, and he wasn't good. And he'll have to be a huge amount better against Alexander Usyk. But I don't buy into it that he's suddenly shot or something like that. No, not at all. I think he had a bad night at the office, and Ngannou had a fantastic one.
I want to speak to you about Anthony Joshua. Obviously, he's got Otto Wallin and then potentially a Wilder fight that's been talked about.
Yeah.
But one of the things I want to highlight, Adam, and I think you could probably draw from your own personal experiences, people kind of making assumptions about him as a person, judging his character. That infamous interview he did at that rally years ago, that gets brought up all the time. And as a boxer, obviously you're trying to concentrate on the job in hand. You're out there still facing people, but he's got fellow boxers, some people in boxing, and a lot of fans online saying, "Oh, he's gone. He looks like he's mentally weak, and he doesn't look like he's up for it, and he cracks up." And then, obviously, the interviews he did the other day, you'd have seen him. He was giving one-word answers, and then that got a lot of backlash as well. Obviously, from your own experiences, people make conspiracies up about people when something happens. What must it be like for him as an individual to have to deal with that? And then when people question your mental weakness when you're still willing to go and step in front of millions of people and fight another man and risk getting knocked out. It's a big question, but you get what I'm trying to get at.
There's a lot of talk that goes on in boxing and every sport, right? It's about debate, it's about controversy, it's about eyeballs, it's about opinions. Ultimately, they're the athletes, they're the professionals. And Anthony Joshua is a professional fighter and a very, very good one. He's been a world champion twice before, and he wants to do it a third time. He's willing to step in the ring, as you said, against a southpaw, a good southpaw in Otto Wallin. Yes, he's beaten him before in the amateurs, but Otto's quality, and Anthony's got to be absolutely right for this fight because he struggles with southpaws. He struggled. He had, that win over Charles Martin, but he got stopped in the amateurs. He struggled against Usyk. Usyk is obviously different gravy, but I expect him to get through Otto Wallin, but he's got to be on song, and I think he is. Look, I know AJ. I haven't spent as much time with Anthony as I used to, obviously, since the Sky days, but we keep in touch, and I know he's utterly committed. I know what he wants, and he's a competitor. And I think people can put all the theories they want together, but fundamentally, Anthony knows what it's about. He's always had to carry that pressure on his shoulders, and whether it's one-word answers, long answers, good interviews, bad interviews, fighters can have different moods on different days as well. And
only human.
Yeah, exactly.
And
he's been through his own journey, right? Andy Ruiz in the Garden, and then he had to deal with the Usyk stuff and everything else, and maybe you go through things like you've been through stuff this year, I've been through stuff this year, and it changes you. But I think it will change Anthony for the better. I think he's as committed as ever. I think he really wants it again. I think he really wants the big fights. I think he always wanted to fight Tyson Fury. I think he still wants that, and I think there's hunger in him, and I think he's just learning, right? He's been with different trainers. Ben Davidson's come in for this one. I like Ben a lot. Haven't even seen Ben yet since I've been here, but I think it's great. I think Anthony wants to learn. He's always been like that. He's always been like a sponge, and he's got the best out of himself. He's a world-class fighter. He's a two-time world champion. He's brilliant. Did he have a brilliant amateur career? He had a quick amateur career. People forget that, and he's constructed a really, really great professional journey. He's had a wonderful time so far. The Klitschko for me that night still stands out for me, but maybe there are more. Maybe he will get that great night against Wilder in March. Maybe he will get a fight with Tyson Fury, and there's still plenty ahead in the AJ journey. I really hope so. I just love it, the fact that if the two of them get through, it is going to be AJ Wilder. We are going to get Fury and Usyk, and that's what the boxing world and the casual sports fans are crying out for, the big fights. And I think looking from the side a bit while I've been away, as I haven't watched everything and obviously concentrating on different things, but I feel that we haven't had that. Tyson hasn't had a big fight, Anthony hasn't had a big fight, and if the heavyweights are not having the big fights, we've had the Zhang, Joyce, we've had Usyk and Dubois. There's been a few. Been some great matches made this year with Crawford and Spence and Garcia and Davis, but they were fairly one-sided in their outcome, as we saw with Sonny Edwards the other day. And there's been some great matches made. We want more matches. The boxing fans want those great matches. That's the trade fans, the hardcore fans, but the casual fans too want the big stories and the big names, and we have to get that. The best fighting the best, and the best characters, and look what's been made. All the promoters have come together. It's fantastic. It's great for boxing. You've got all the pretty much all the heavyweights here on one card. Dubois Miller's interesting, Parker and Wilder's interesting, AJ Warren, they all are. Yes, you expect Anthony and Deontay to get through, but there's some jeopardy there, and we love jeopardy as fight fans, don't we? I can't wait to see it. I'm privileged, and it's a pleasure just to be here, and I'm really looking forward to it.
We definitely do. I just want to ask you, you slightly touched on it there. What did you make of AJ hiring Ben Davis? And obviously, they've kind of explained because of the travel, etc.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it's another new trainer. Obviously, that's brought a lot of backlash. People saying, "Oh, what's he doing, changing trainers?" But
Sure.
I don't know. There's comparisons in sports. People change managers all the time. Is it the same?
Mike Tyson trains trainers all the time towards the sort of second half of
Is
his
it really
career.
that deep though? Like,
after
is it-
Customato, when you get someone like that, right? Naz was with Brendan Ingle for a long time, then he left him and went with Oscar Suarez and Emmanuel Stewart, and people say maybe he
forget
should,
that.
he should have stayed with the Ingles, and maybe that would have ended up being a longer journey, but he made his decisions, and I think fighters do that, and I think, why not? They're the ones that get in the ring. If they've got an amazing bond and you go the whole way, Carl Froch and Rob McCracken, I thought Rob McCracken and AJ might, but it didn't happen. And and I like the fact that Anthony is willing to learn still at this stage of his career, that he wants to get better. And that's the key. And I think all of this stuff about is he this, is he strong, is he that, goes back to the pressure that these athletes are after, which is what I'm thinking of, and I want to help give back. I want to try and help make their lives a bit easier, because they're under so much pressure all the time, and they will continue to be. I think the move to Ben was because of travel, but I haven't spoken to the team at length about it, but I like Ben Davison a lot. I admired him greatly for what he did with Tyson Fury, bringing him out of the state that Tyson was in, and what a story, what a comeback that's been. Ben's had an amazing success in the boxing world. Lee Wood, what's happened to him, and I just think it's a fantastic chance for Anthony to learn more. And remember that Ben, of course, trained Tyson and the Otto Wallin southpaw style, and I think he's a good man to have in the corner. So I think Anthony, we'll only know after the fight, but I think if Anthony's happy with that, that's fantastic. I think I rate Ben highly, and I think hopefully it's a great match.
Let's see how everything unfolds. Like I said to you at the start, Adam, there's so much we could talk about, but there's a lot more bigger things happening here that I know you want to get involved in, and you're hopefully going to be involved in. So I just want to thank you for your time. I know it's your first interview in, I don't know how long it's been. It's been over a year, has it?
It's been a long time.
Seems like a long time ago.
I've been, I don't think the last boxing was probably last October at Sky, October 22, so it's been a long time. I was just at the World Darts at Ali Pali before I came over here, and I missed that as well, the darts. It's there's a lot out there, but Sky are a fantastic company. Sky Sports are going to be amazing. They're going to go on to bigger and better things without me. Hopefully I've contributed plenty to them over the years. I've certainly put my heart and soul into it. Jonathan Lish is a fantastic guy, the head of Sky Sports, and they're going to go great guns. They've just got the Premier League renewal, and the tennis is really exciting. I can't wait, and I'm just going to be a massive Sky Sports fan now. But I'm glad to also have moved on, because I think I need that. I need new challenges, and certainly after what's happened to me physically and mentally, I think that now I'm right, now I'm strong, now I'm calm. I feel good, and I feel ready to really give back. And whether that's mainly in the boxing world, or in other sports, or in TV and in radio, or in writing, or whichever area that is, or hosting events, or doing things, or chatting to people like you, I'd love to do sort of a whole sort of smorgasbord of stuff, a whole different things, but really want to give back, and I do really want to get back behind a mic at some point. I'd love to do that.
Adam, I'm sure I speak for all boxing fans. It's an honour to get this interview with you as well, and it's a pleasure seeing you back, and hopefully we see more of you in the future. Thank you for your time, and hopefully we'll catch you soon.
Have you ever been stranded on the side of a motorway with a broken down car? Like me, is that something that worries you? That's where motor breakdown insurance comes in. If your vehicle breaks down, a trained professional will be sent out to get you back on the road. Or if this is not possible within the specified time frame, to transport you to your home or to the nearest garage.
You want anything bad enough, don't make excuses. You gotta lose your time and your sleep for it. You find a way.